Welcome back, everybody, to Altcoin Daily. Of course, the reason you subscribe is because we keep you informed with everything that goes on in the cryptocurrency space on a daily basis. Pay attention. I'm going to update you with the most pressing, interesting things that have happened in the past 24 hours regarding cryptocurrency. Make sure you like the video. Let's get started with our top story. Companies everywhere are starting to buy and hold Bitcoin as a reserve currency as Snappa HQ becomes the latest to convert its cash holdings into Bitcoin. And perhaps the most interesting part of the story is the press release that they put out. The CEO put this out on his own personal website, talking about why he decided to do this. And this is recent information just dropping today. And this is what he says. Why we're holding Bitcoin as a reserve asset. Hey, let me ask you a question. Would you rather save money in a currency whose supply is inflating each year, or would you rather save in a currency whose terminal supply is programmably fixed? Well, given everything going on in the global economy, this is a question that we've had to start taking seriously as Snappa continues to scale and produce growing amounts of free cash flow. It has become even more important when our bank slashed our interest rates on our high-interest savings account to just 0.45% earlier this year. This means that the purchasing power of our Canadian and US dollars is actually decreasing after adjusting for the inflation. Fortunately, we now have found a far superior savings technology available to us, and that technology is Bitcoin. After falling down the rabbit hole and spending hundreds of hours studying the underlying protocol and all the game theory behind it, we began steadily accumulating Bitcoin beginning in March of this year. This position now makes up a significant percentage of our company's overall cash reserves. So a couple different things. If you were to continue reading this article, you'd find that the next 20 minutes are spent really reasoning and giving examples as to why, they believe Bitcoin is such a good investment. So this is very impressive. This is stuff we go over all the time on this channel. So if you're subscribed to us, you already know this stuff. It's interesting that they say we officially began accumulating Bitcoin just in March of this year. So that means if you bought Bitcoin before March of this year, you probably got in at a better time than this company. And, this is the company's website. While you can say Snappa, never heard of it. Sounds like this is a small company compared to MicroStrategies, the bigger one we heard about the other day. That you could say, oh, they're just doing this so they have a press bump, a PR bump. Either way, this is great PR for Bitcoin. And, it doesn't, big company, small company, you can see the way the world is trending, and to have any company come out and announce that they're converting their cash to Bitcoin and then articulating all these reasons, this is an incredible time to be a Bitcoin investor and in the cryptocurrency space in general. Guys, Bitcoin will be over $20,000 before you know it. The reason I can tweet this out so confidently, while nobody knows the future, when you look into the on-chain metrics, I love the way Phil put it, the number of addresses with 1 Bitcoin or more, so retail, plus the number of addresses with 1,000 Bitcoin or more, institutions, has both hit an all-time high. This is during a time when the number of Bitcoin that's actually being held on exchanges is reaching local lows. Plus, with the inflation rate of Bitcoin recently halved, how can you not be bullish? So, do you have enough Bitcoin? Answer the question, do you have enough Bitcoin? Let me know in the comments. Final on-chain metric before we move on to some recent news, Bitcoin mining difficulty has increased by another 3.6%. It's at an all-time high. And this means that the Bitcoin miners remain the most bullish among us, turning on their machines, trying to mine more Bitcoin, probably because it makes sense for their business model and they expect Bitcoin to be worth far more in the future. Do you have enough Bitcoin? Final 2 stories of the day. Do not sleep on this. I want to talk about one, this full-page Bitcoin ad not associated with any company or service that appeared in Hong Kong in a popular Hong Kong newspaper. And I want to talk about the fact that the IMF, the International Monetary Fund, has tweeted out a video that they've talked about before. What are cryptocurrencies? We'll talk about this. Surely that's a bullish sign. But first of all, what is this full-page ad? Well, a new full-page ad in Hong Kong-based tabloid-style newspaper, Apple Daily, tells readers to ditch banks today and switch to Bitcoin. Another ad for cryptocurrency has appeared in print media, this time without promoting a specific business or service. Though the text appears to be educating readers about Bitcoin, there's no apparent mention of where or how to buy it, only a single reference to the Genesis block. So let's find out exactly what this paper says. It's in English and in Chinese. Bitcoin will never ditch you, signed Satoshi Nakamoto. Bitcoin is digital money. It is not issued or controlled by any government or corporation. Nobody can stop you from transacting on the network. It cannot be shut down. Bitcoin is available to anyone, regardless of their nationality, gender, or beliefs. Bitcoin began with the Genesis block during the financial crisis of 2009. Now, its time is coming. And this is kind of interesting. The Apple Daily is one of the largest print medias in Hong Kong, but it has become even more popular since the CEO was arrested just 2 weeks ago. So some people are speculating that this ad has a full page in the paper because the CEO is getting into some trouble with the government or whatever, and he's just advertising Bitcoin for free since it cannot be controlled. The ad's message of nobody can stop you and not being controlled by any government may very well resonate with young protesters looking for an alternative to traditional finance. And it talks about the billionaire Apple Daily CEO Jimmy Lai arrested August 10th. I mean, you can find out the details yourself, but bullish, right? Very bullish. And another thing, which, it's if you read some of the articles, so many things wrong with the IMF's education video, says Crypto Twitter. So this is actually a video that they released in 2018 talking about what are cryptocurrencies. And as you can imagine, it's exactly as you'd imagine. According to an educational video from the International Monetary Fund, cryptocurrencies could be the next step in the evolution of money. So this originally went out August 23rd, 2018, refers to cryptocurrency as the next step in the evolution of money without specifically mentioning terms like decentralized ledger, blockchain, or even token names. Bitcoin, XRP, and Ethereum make an appearance only in a graphic illustrating crypto transactions. So first of all, here's the thing. Cryptocurrency, according to the International Monetary Fund, totally normal. We could go to a story talking about how the Boston Fed is looking at 30 to 40 blockchain networks for digital dollar experiments. So America is going to make a digital dollar. China is in the process of making a digital dollar. The International Monetary Fund tweeting about what are cryptocurrencies, full page ad in one of the most popular tabloids in Hong Kong. Companies converting their stash into Bitcoin. The number of Bitcoin being bought by large and small people is increasing. The coins being held on exchanges decreasing. The inflation rate of Bitcoin cut in half. How can you not be bullish? And with that, my friends, that's where I'll say goodbye to you. Now it seems Bitcoin's still hovering around $11,700. It seems like a 9,000, 10,000, 11,000 Bitcoin is the new normal. And that's just like how just 6 months ago, a 6,000, 7,000, 8,000 Bitcoin was the new normal. There will come a time when Bitcoin at 20,000, 22,000, 23,000, when that's the new normal. Get on board, subscribe to the channel. It's going to be a great year.
Can you characterize everything that the Fed has done this past week as essentially flooding the system with money?
Yes, exactly.
And there's no end to your ability to do that?
There is no end to our ability to do that.
Is the Fed just going to print money?
That's literally what Congress has told us to do. That's the authority that they've given us, to print money and provide liquidity into the financial system. And that's how we do it. We create it electronically, and then we can also print it with the Treasury Department, print it so that you can get money out of your ATM.
When you're acting in love, you're like a drop of water and you have the ocean as your army. When you act in fear, it's just you and your money. Now you could take your money and put it in Bitcoin, put a credit form, put it in cash, or all your cash in there, and then stand up to the ocean, and who's gonna win? We definitely are dealing with racism, but I wanna push future concepts. Now I'm giving you two streams of consciousness in one. I want to talk about my wife. I also want to talk about Harriet Tubman on a $20 bill.
We're following you. We're following it all. You set it up good.
That was the moment that I wanted to use Bitcoin. And I saw Harriet Tubman on a $20 bill.